Welcome to the Bold Goal Crusher podcast for anyone looking to stop letting life get in the way and start crushing bold goals. I'm your host, Sarah Mayer, and I'm thrilled to navigate this journey with you because it's time to start boldly achieving without working double time. So let's dive in. Hello, Bold Goal Crushers. I'm super excited about this little mini series that we're doing about business because I know that many of you are sitting in a 9-to-5 job or you're trying to create a side hustle. And many people have talked about one of their big goals is starting a business. And that's very exciting, but it can also be a little bit overwhelming. And as someone who has started my own business, I'm excited to share with you some of the things that you may need to think about. So before you even jump in, I used to be in the event business, and we used to have this little joke that when people were planning an event, they would be very concerned about the napkin colors and linens, and they would lose sight of the big picture. Why are we having an event in the first place? And it was real easy to get into the flowers and the cool stuff and the giveaways and whatever else you were doing at the event. Business is very similar to this. It's very easy to say, I want to start a business and then skip over into, and you jump over the important parts to get into the fun parts, like what is my social media account going to look like? What colors am I going to use? So I want you to pump the brakes a little bit. And the first place to start when you're thinking about starting a business or side hustle is really to determine why are you wanting to start a business? Why is it? Is it because you're sick of working long nights? Is it because you don't like your boss? Is it because you have an idea that you're inspired by? Is it all those things or more? Is it because you want to make a lot of money? Or is it simply because you know that there's something different out there for you and you want to take a chance on yourself? So before you start picking out the colors of your business or how your social media is going to look on the grid, it's time to really think about your why. And then it's time to define your business idea. So there are many ideas out there. And in reality, I don't want to break any hearts with this, but most likely you're not doing anything that someone else hasn't already done. Unless you're inventing the Post-it note or coming up with something completely new, you're probably doing something similar that someone else has done. So you may be able to really define that idea and tweak it and make it better. But in reality, there's lots of examples out there that you can use to define your business idea. And next, it's really time to outline your goals. Many times business owners jump into the business because they want a certain thing or they like to do what they're doing, but they need to take a step back and define their ultimate goals. And next up, it's really about defining your ideal client. Who are you going to serve? What are their demographics, behaviors, and preferences? And I will tell you that this is not that easy. And many times people will say, oh, you need to niche down or you need to do this or that. And I think it's really important to remember that when you first start your business, and even as you get further in business, you need to be talking to one person. And you may serve a lot of different people, but your message in every post that you post, people need to identify themselves. So that's really important. Now, later, you can add other messages that speak to other people, but it's important to really think about who your ideal client is. And when setting up your business, there's lots of different ways that you can set it up. And I think it's important to think about that for the long term. I have a couple steps I'll show you on one of my resources that I'm going to give you. When we jump into marketing and branding, that after you do all this stuff,
And this is really assessing your target market, deciding if you want to be a personal or business brand. Those are two very different things. If you do eventually want to sell your business, probably a business brand is better than a personal brand. Picking your name, that's always a really cool thing. And then really identifying your brand identity. So that's logo, colors, taglines, stuff like that. And then choosing those marketing vehicles. There's a lot of fun stuff in the marketing and branding section, but many times business owners or side hustlers skip the first two steps because they're techy and boring and hard to define, really. And they get into the marketing. Marketing needs to come after you've done all the definition. And then this is where people get stuck. The next step is tech. And that's really determining how you're going to email people, how you're going to book appointments, determining how you're going to store files. You could go down a rabbit hole with tech. And I encourage you to really stick to those three things. How am I going to email people? How am I going to book calendar appointments? And how am I going to keep track of all my assets? Now, I'm not saying that's going to get you through the rest of your business career, but that's what you need to get started. So instead of focusing on all these other things, really that's the key, because people get stuck in trying to make things perfect or trying to learn all the things. And the reality is you need to take the steps in order to get to the point where you can actually start making money. So the next step is really figuring out what you're going to offer. How are you going to what are you going to sell? How are you going to price it? And then what bonuses might you add to make that offer more attractive? And then creating your launch plan. So creating a business does not need to be this big thing where you're like, oh, I need to do all these things and I need to get this all set up and it's going to take me months. Following my checklist, which I'm going to give you if you go to sarahmayer.com/free tools and resources, you'll find that checklist right on the top. It's the checklist for how to get started, the quickest way to get started in business. Following my checklist, you could do this in a weekend. You could legit launch your business in a weekend. Now, many of you will get stuck on certain points. And so I do have in that free resource an option for you to grab a free call with me if you do get stuck. I encourage you to really dream up your business or your side hustle, because I know many of you are thinking about this. And creating a business or a side hustle that provides you some extra income or allows you to leave your 9 to 5 is one of the coolest ways you can make an impact, not only on your life, but your families. If you are interested in creating a business, I just outlined the basic steps. Don't get stuck. Don't spend months trying to do this. Get your business off the ground and get some revenue coming in so you can determine if this is truly what you want to do, rather than spending months creating this dream business only to realize it's not a dream. So I'm super excited that you all have businesses on your mind, and I'm really proud of you for setting bold goals. So now it's time, download the resource, sarahmayer.com/free tools and resources. And let's get started today, because you can crush your goals and everything that gets in the way. So let's get to it.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bold Goal Crusher podcast, where we crush goals and everything that gets in the way. I always love to support my community. I look forward to seeing you crush your goals this year.